Hello and welcome. Now we are going to discuss about understanding sensors and actuator. This is all related to design an electronic circuit. This channel or this we can say that lecture series we can dealing with different types of component, different types of actuators, how to design a circuit. In a previous lecture we will discuss about that the circuit. Understanding of circuit, the components which require to design a circuit. Now we are going to deal with the sensors and actuators. What exactly mean by sensor? A sensor is an electronics component whose purpose is to detect the events or charge. Or in other word, I can say that sensor is a device which can be convert physical quantity into electrical quantity. For example, if I have a temperature sensor, the physical quantity is a temperature and the sensor is an electronics device which can convert that physical quantity into the electrical quantity. For example, speed sensor, humidity sensor, pressure sensors, numerous sensors are there, those who can convert physical quantity into the electrical quantity. About the actuator, I can say that are basically things that produce an action like a motion. Okay, is a sort of actuator. So actuators and sensors. So what are the actuator and sensor, and which type of sensors and actuator we can use in electronics circuit, or to design a IoT circuit, or to design a robotics, any sort of different like circuits we can design by using sensors and actuators. So there are numerous sensors and actuators are there. So various types of sensor and actuators in which we have a potentiometer. First we have numerous sensors, we can discuss one by one. So potentiometer, now informally a pot, we can say that pot is a 3-terminal resistor which we can say that the 3-terminal resistor with a sliding or rotating contact that forms an adjustable variable driver. So we can see here these are the 3 terminals. We can see here 3 terminals are there, first, second and third. Okay, and then this is nothing but an adjustable voltage divider or adjustable knob which can rotate from clockwise and anti-clockwise. It can be increase or decrease the resistance. So that is a particularly we can say that first sensor. Second, we can say that LDR. LDR is a light dependent resistor, or a photoresistor is device whose resistivity is a function of incident electromagnetic radiation. Hence, they are light sensitive device. So this is nothing but a LDR, in which we can just produce a light, so it will absorb the light and then it will act as per the requirement or as per the absorption of a light. So this is nothing but an LDR sensor, which is mostly used to detect the light intensity of light. Third, we can say that a force sensitive sensor. This sensor is basically a force sensitive resistance. It is commonly used in application where we need to measure how hard something is press or squeeze. It means if we can press on that particular device, then we can sense that particular or convert that particular format in the form of electrical field. So this is nothing but a force sensitive sensor. We have a flex sensor. Flex sensor is used to measure how much something is bending. So as I know that finger is bended, so we can measure the flexibility of that finger itself. Basically the sensors can be used for gesture recognition, which can be applied in a variety of way. They can also be used to control intensity of something. For example, the brightness of LED, the speed of DC motor. On the basis of bending of that particular device, we can measure the intensity of light or the brightness of an LED or the speed of a DC motor. So this is one of the sensors we can use in an electronic circuit. Next, we can say that air water flow sensor. So this sensor sits in the in line with the water line and contain a pinwheel sensor to measure how much water has moved through it. There is an integrated magnetic Hall effect sensor that outputs an electrical pulse with every revolution. So this is one of the we can say that air or water flow sensor. Next, we have a water level sensor. The sensor works on the principle of conduction. So when the sensor is measured in a water, or any other conductive liquid is dropped on that particular we can say that sensor, so the resistance of the sensor changes. This in turns produce an analog voltage signals which dependent on the level of water. So we can measure the different water level of water by using this particular sensor. Next we have a rainwater sensor. This sensor is used to detect the rainfall. The alternating pattern on the sensor is we can say the highly resistive circuit, and when water falls on the circuit it provides a less resistance path for the current to flow. This causes an overall decrease in the resistance of the circuit. So this is one of the example of sensor we can use. Soil moisture sensor, we can say that this sensor helps in determining the value of moisture in the soil, the weight and not weight situation of a soil. The way this works is that the sensor has two probes and the resistance between the two probes is determined by the moisture in the soil. More the moisture, less the resistance, and vice versa. It means less the moisture, more the resistance is the concept of this particular soil moisture sensor. By using this sensor, we can use numerous applications, for example, agriculture purpose or any sort of irrigation or some sort of, we can say that farming purpose, we can use this particular sensor. Numerous sensors, as we previously discussed, these also used maybe in the different application. Next we have a MQ2 gas sensor. MQ2 gas sensor are formally the sensor which are used to detect the wide variety of gases like alcohol, smoke, methane, LPG, hydrogen, NH3, benzene, propane, etc. They are widely used in homes and industries as alarm system and detectors. So by using this, we can detect the numerous like we can say that gases, and it can be detected. So we can design a circuit for protection of industry, for protection of home automation systems, and various different application of this particular sensor. Biometric pressure sensor, we can use. A pressure sensor and biometric pressure sensor are different. This sensor can measure the temperature and the air pressure, and that data can be used to determine the altitude from sea level. Since we know that the air pressure decreases as height above sea level and increases, so this is one of the biometric pressure sensor we can use for the different application itself. Humidity and temperature sensor, we can say that DHT sensor, we can call it as a DHT sensor, DHT 11, DHT 22, DHT 1 2. These are different sensor of types of sensor. Humidity and temperature sensor, it is a sensor that gives the digital value of temperature and humidity with a good accuracy. It consists of capacitive humidity sensor, a terminator, a thermistor, and a microchip, and that takes the analog data and convert it into the digital format. So this is nothing but your digital temperature and humidity sensor. LM35 is also a temperature sensor, but this is the analog sensor. So we can say that next is nothing but your microphone sensor. The microphone inside your mobile phone, laptop, earphone, etc. use as a sensor. The sensor enables us to not only measure the amount of sound, but the frequency and the pitch also measured by this particular sensor, and its signal is accurate enough to replicate the sound with a good accuracy. So this is nothing but a microphone sensor which is available in your mobile phone, laptops, and any other device where we have to convert that sound energy into the electrical energy. Next we have a buzzer, just to generate a beep, the sound when you turn the TV on off, the sound of camera click when they take a picture from a mobile phone, the sound of beep when you dial a number on a telephone. It works on the principle of piezoelectricity, is nothing but your buzzer module but as a sensor. Ultrasonic distance sensor we can use to detect that particular sensor. In this sensor sends out the ultrasonic pulses and then detects the echoing wave. It then measure the distance by taking the time taken for the echoing wave to return back on that particular reflection of that particular sensor, multiplied by the speed of the sound. So ultrasonic distance sensor, we measure the ultrasonic distance between the obstacle and the device where we have to connect. IR sensor is nothing but your infrared sensor, where we have a IR receiver and IR enabled LED. LEDs always reflect the light, and IR receiver is receive that particular light. So distance adjustment is also by using this particular sensor. We have a power LED, and then the obstacle LEDs are blink whenever the obstacle are available. The sensor has an IR transmitter and receiver. The mechanism is quite similar to ultrasonic sensor. The transmitter sends out the pulses of light, then receiver calculate that time taken for the light to reflect back, and that's how it detects the obstacle. So by detecting the obstacle, we are going to use a IR sensor itself. Pulse sensor to measure the pulses of a body. So pulse sensor arm responds to relative changes in lightly intensive. If the amount of light incident on the sensor remain constant, the signal value will remain at close to 512. In case of presence of more light, the signal goes up, and with the less light, the opposite happens. So this is nothing but your pulse sensor. We can use the light detector, we can use the bright light, and then it will get generate the light, and then it will get reflected by because of your finger on that particular light, and the light detector will get detect that particular value and convert into the form of pulses, or the output in the form of electrical field. So this is nothing but a pulse sensor. We have PIR sensor, that is nothing but a passive infrared sensor, or just a PIR sensor is widely used a sensor. These are used to detect the motion, and come in the vast variety of size and range. From 120 degree to 360 degree, they can detect the motion in a large area and a long range. For the PIR sensor is mostly used to detect the movement of a human body in any sort of application. For jewelry shop and home automation system we can use. Then tricolor LED. These LEDs can be used to produce the virtually every color in the spectrum. The reason is that the brain cannot separate two overlapping colors, and so it can create the illusion of a new color. We can say that the tricolor or the RGB does that by mixing the different amount of red, green and blue combination of current color. That red, green and blue are the basic color we know. This is the similar to mixing a watercolor itself. For example, we have to mix red and green or the blue, or the combination of that color will generate the cyan, magenta and yellow color, or the 100% is the and 0% are the two different color, and we can say that black and white. So this is nothing but a combination of tricolor itself. We have a laser module itself. The laser are one of the coolest invention made by the man. They are also light source like an LED, but with many special feature. For example, if you light an LED, the point it at an object which is very far, the light may not even reach at that particular object. But if you do the same with the laser object, then it can be point out on the very far away objects available for away distance, and it is easily identify that particular obstacle. In fact, scientists have made laser that can reach the surface of the moon from earth itself. So this is nothing but one of the good invention by the man. So this is a laser model which can use LCD keypad shield. We can use 16 by 2 LCD, or the we can say that the smart LCD itself. For the microcontroller, sometimes it is necessary to indicate that in a human readable manner, means whatever the information we can display on that particular display, we have to we have to use LCD keypad display. This shield is designed to for that sole purpose. It is 16 by 2 character LCD with a few button which can be used for scrolling or navigation of that particular display. These are also some analog pins available to connect the different sensors. So this is one of the good invention by the man. And these are the sensors, these are the actuators which are used to design a circuit, and this may be used in the robotics, this may be used in the IoTs, and associated with the microcontroller, microprocessor, and then we can design a good application. For example, agriculture, home automation, theft recovery, or any sort of different applications we can use by using such type of component. So we have a capacitive touch module itself. We have LED and tap switch module itself. So we can read the detailed information through this particular information. So these are the different circuits. So hall circuit, sensor we have joystick, we can move forward, reverse, right and left. So these are the sensor. A relay model we can use. So the relay is a simply switch which only one point of difference. The opening and the closing of the switch is controlled by the signal. So this is nothing but a relay model we can use. We have a motor driver model itself. So we can connect 2 to 3 motors, or 2 to 4 motors by using this particular motor driver IC. The shield provides a control over the variety of motors. It can be used to control the servo motor, stepper motor, DC motor, operate stepper motors, or precise application we can use in the robotic itself. It can be used to drive the high torque servo, such as one used to a humanoid arm, robotic arm we can use, or robotic machine we can use. For that purpose we require a drivers. It cannot connect directly with the controller, so we require the drivers in between the motor and the controller. So this is one of the driver. Servo motor we have. Servo motor are specially types of motor used in the various robotics and hubby electronics project. They can be moved in a certain amount of angle, 90 degree, 45 degree, 180 degree, can be detected by the microcontroller like the Intel Genius no 101, and they will be stick to that angle itself. So we can make a proper program, and then we can make a proper angle by using this particular program. We have a DC motor. DC motor mechanism is quite simple. It is used the magnet property that will be poles repels, and unlike poles attract. So DC motor is one of the good invention, and the DC motor finds application is very large variety of project. They can act as a wheel of your robot, or open your curtains, we can say that, drive gears in a custom made clock. So these are the different application of DC motor, and these are the different sensors and actuator we can be used to design a hardware and IoT and the robotics application. So it's very innovative things we know, and these are the things may be used to design a hardware and circuit. So basically, as we already discussed about the understanding of circuit, then the components which is required to design a circuit: basic component, resistor, capacitor, and inductors. These are the basic component. Then after that we require the power supply. So already discussed about the power supply. Then after that we required different sensors and actuators, though that we already discussed. So this is all about we can say that different components we may use. Furthermore, we can use like we will discuss about that the programming language, or the software we may use to design the particular hardware, or that particular program will be installed in that particular processor. So this can be used in the next this can be we can be discussed in this next lecture. If you like this lecture, please like and subscribe my videos. Thank you.